Welcome to Money Thoughts, your financial program that gives you educational knowledge about how you can handle your money. I'm Peter Crowley, your host. Deb Frazier, our other co-host, is not here today. We're very pleased that Bitcoin Money Center is our sponsor. Today you're going to learn a lot. I got to tell you, I'm excited about this show. We've got Leonard Neuhaus with us, who's a fund manager for Bitcoin Capital, but is a knowledgeable aspect of Bitcoin and digital currency. So, Leonard, welcome.
Thank you very much, Peter. I'm glad to be here.
So I'm going to start off with a question that could be the whole show. Help us understand, what is Bitcoin and why does someone pay $50,000 to own one?
Okay, the easiest way to explain Bitcoin is it's an alternative new money that has a hedge against the demise of paper money, which is fiat. Like people always say when I talk to them, oh, Bitcoin's too volatile. It was 66,000, went to 30,000. I ain't going near that thing. It's too crazy for me, right? Bitcoin, one Bitcoin's always worth one Bitcoin. And the value fluctuation is based on the inverse relationship with the American dollar. So when the dollar is weak because of the debt and they feel like there's bad economic times and the high inflation we're going into, people feel like if they own the Bitcoin and they know this money's in there, and there's countries like El Salvador that are using Bitcoin as legal tender. In other words, anybody can go to El Salvador right now with Bitcoin in their wallet on their cell phone and live a normal life. So that's why people are buying Bitcoin as an alternative asset class for legal tender among countries globally. And that's the beauty of it.
That's a good start. So let's go to that first slide. And it's not just Bitcoin as one coin. There's a whole bunch of coins out there.
Oh, yeah. There's 18,000 plus.
Talk about that for a second.
Well, see, this is one of the problems with the crypto market. There's over 18,600 coins. And if you wanted a coin, Peter, I know a software engineer who will make a Peter Crowley Bitcoin or Peter Crowley coin, right? And then you get somebody to raise money. He'll issue you inside coin. It's called an ICO, issue coin offering. And then your coin will trade with the rest of the cryptos, right? But then you dry up on your money supply and everybody's excited, but now you have no money pool. You don't have any participants. So you lost the liquidity element. And it became highly volatile, and then after the pump and dump, everybody ends up losing their money, and they say, oh, crypto's no good. I had a coin, Peter Crowley, and I lost all my money. That's the problem with crypto. There's too many coins. There are coins of purpose. Any coin that has an economic functionality on the gross domestic product level. In other words, there's mortgage coins out there. A company like Aave, it's a $21 billion money pool that you can put your money into, and if you want, you can borrow money back with no credit app.
So let's take that for a second. So the liquidity of Bitcoin, and I'm going to use Bitcoin now as an example of all the other coins just for now.
Bitcoin represents 47% of the daily volume.
So there you go.
So it's the main coin.
Now, as I understand, the value for Bitcoin, if I own a Bitcoin, it's only valuable when someone else wants to buy it because there's no Fed backing. How does that work? How does the value of Bitcoin become where it is today?
Bitcoin is, first of all, there's 19 million coins issued with a maximum of 21 million. This is where fixed capitalization comes in. One of the problems with fiat is the feds keep printing money. It's paper. There's no gold backing on fiat. You know that. It was taken off in 1971. So basically, they're using the international reserve status sovereignty that they're going to be able to sell their government bonds to other countries, and they're going to be able to keep printing money here in America to sustain the economy. Well, there's a lot of people that realize that bubble's eventually going to burst and the dollars could take a fall. If you have a crypto with fixed capitalization, I'm only issuing 19 million coins. And if you want to get in, I have a money pool of literally right now $47 billion a day traded in Bitcoin. 47 billion. So if you had $1 million, you can easily buy $1 million, $7 million of Bitcoin in a day. No problem. You're not going to affect the price, right?
Let's go to slide 2. That might help us understand this.
Okay. The one that I want to mention is one of the largest coin holders in the whole world is a guy called Michael Saylor out of Parsippany, New Jersey. And he owns 112,000 Bitcoin, 3.6 billion worth.
So now the money behind the Bitcoin, I mean, I'll say I buy one for $20,000. Where does that money go?
It's 40,000 right now.
Okay, 40,000. I'm trying to get in early. So if I buy it for $40,000, where does that money go?
It goes to me. If you buy my Bitcoin,
so it goes to you.
It goes to me.
Okay.
And I give you my Bitcoin for that 40 grand. That's the current market price.
So for me to then liquidate my Bitcoin, I've got to find a buyer who wants to buy my Bitcoin.
There's over 500 marketplaces on the internet where you have buyers for Bitcoin. So
but again, I've got to find a buyer, correct?
No, you just trade it like you would a stock, like IBM, like Microsoft.
Really?
Yeah.
So I actually
There's
just go to a
retail market always for Bitcoin.
So I'll go to a market and say, I'm going to sell.
A broker. You go to a broker.
You do? Okay.
You can go through my company and do it, because I'm linked up with Binance, which is the largest crypto broker in the world, right? So if you want to buy and sell any crypto, and they only offer about 100, that's what I'm saying. That's a good thing. But there's crypto brokerages all over the world that are interlinked through the internet, and there's over 500 of them, and there's 100 billion a day traded in them, and Bitcoin controls 47% of the market share out of all 18,500.
So similar to me selling a stock, I'd go to a broker, I'd say I want to put that up for sale, and then there'd be a market price that I can bring it back.
Absolutely.
Interesting. Let's go to the next slide while you're talking.
You link your bank account, because I have it, I'm doing it. You link I have a Bank of America bank account. So I just link my crypto account to my bank account, and if I need money, I put it back into my bank account, pay a bill. When I get my paycheck, I'll dump it back into my crypto. So I'm always moving money back and forth, but I'm playing a lot more cryptos than just Bitcoin.
But as we talked about, crypto is really becoming a way of handling money. Digital currency is becoming the way. Look
the whole world's going that way.
On globalization.
Okay, so let's talk. That's amazing. This is what people need to understand. Only 25% of the population of the world, which is 8 billion approximately, have the ability to participate in the stock market. 25%, okay? The internet is over 75% of the world. And the internet is available to the little old lady with $100 that wants to buy Bitcoin because she wants to trade it in El Salvador, okay? So we've amassed a marketplace now with much more participants and a greater money pool of liquidity. And that's why it makes more sense. And they always wanted one money, one world. This is the way it's going. And every country in the world is working on a crypto. Even America is going to regulate it before the end of the year, beginning of 2023. And then they're going to issue their own digital currency. Now, there's pitfalls and wins out of that. The pitfall is they want to know how many crypto digital dollars you have, when you bought them, and all that stuff. So it takes away the anonymity from it, which a lot of people feel secure about. But the other side is when you bring a country that has $5 trillion part of the circulation of the globe on a daily basis, and if cryptos are trading 100 billion and you bring the 5 trillion in, what does that do? That brings a whole new money pool, a whole larger amount of money, which means any legitimate asset coin. There's a lot of bad coins out there, right?
We know the term's different. We're not going to do it on this show.
And you got to beware, because those are the ones that are going to steal your money. The crypto game's great. If you buy meaningful coins with good circulation, with a high volume of liquidity and a pool, you can buy and sell it, and you're going to get great deals. There's another company called VeChain, right? VeChain is the largest blockchain company in the world. They have contracts with Coca-Cola, Disney, GM, and they're building blockchain. Blockchain's amazing stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Blockchain's a whole show. We can do a whole show on blockchain.
But real quick on blockchain. So on blockchain, there's called proof of work and proof of stake. Okay. The blockchain is nothing more than a verification accounting method to transact your Bitcoin.
Right.
So if I buy Bitcoin off of you, and for me to know that's legitimate, I'm going to go into the blockchain, and they're going to say, oh yeah, Peter bought it off of this guy, who bought it off of this guy, who bought it off of this guy, right? That's called proof of work. Proof of work has to verify every transaction Bitcoin ever made to come back to me and do the transaction. And that takes minutes, and it spends a lot of fuel, right? They call it gas, all right? That's a very poor system of accounting because it's grown so large. They're now going to proof of stake. Proof of stake needs 2 people to verify it.
Oh, interesting. So
it's instantaneous verification. So you can move cryptos a lot quicker for retail.
Let me go a different side of it. We're talking the good side. I remember a story, and I won't remember, maybe a year or two ago, where the code for the owner of the Bitcoin got lost. Or he died, whatever it was.
Lost, I think.
And that whole group of people who were in that Bitcoin, I understood they lost that value for the Bitcoin. Is that true? Or
absolutely.
So how does that happen?
So this is one of the problems. I recently had a friend, as of 6 weeks, lost $10,000 in cyberspace, and they can't find it. How about that?
Well, that would get me nervous. That would get me nervous.
Okay, well, you got to understand how to use it. Look, I'm not a techie either. I'm a freaking dinosaur, you know, graduated high school in '76, and I'm in the markets 38 years. So I'm a dinosaur. So when I see all this stuff in crypto, I'm like, what's ECM, what's DeFi, DApp, and I got to move my money for, I'm like, wow, out, right? Yeah. There's literally different networking chains to move money around the world. Right. And if your coin isn't compatible with one of those networking chains, it never arrives there. It gets lost in cyberspace.
Is that what happened to that one particular coin?
That's what happened to him. He used the Ethereum network to move a Litecoin into a trading account, and he didn't realize he did it, so it's at Ethereum in a Litecoin, which nobody has record of, and he's trying to pay a firm to find his money. This has been going on for 6 weeks.
It has, I know.
But if he would have used a Litecoin chain, it would have went straight through. But he's an old guy, 77, and he wanted to get involved, and he hit the wrong button. ERC, Ethereum network, out of a Litecoin, and it lost in the cyberspace. Poof.
So you really need to have faith in the people you're buying from.
Yeah, you got it. That's why there's so much urgency to have somebody who's done it. You know, like right. I've been banging monies back and forth a lot. Just, you know, you start small, $100. Did this work? You know, then you bring it back. Okay, I got it back. And the fees are very low in crypto, by the way. It's not like commissions, like options, stocks,
right.
equity. The fees are okay. So I moved 1.35 million in 4 months. My fees were $360. 1.3 million.
Wow. So let's go to the next slide and see if we look at this is the size of the market, and we talked about growth of this market. Can you talk that slide for a second?
Yeah, absolutely. So everybody's comparing this to the internet in the early 90s. There's actually people, when the internet came out, that said it's only a glorified fax machine, it's never going to work, right?
I do remember that.
Okay, and there's actually people that said, you can't believe what you read on the internet. Remember those guys?
I do.
Back in the early 90s, right? Well, now look at it. Everybody uses it for banking, for shopping. It's our main part of our life. Technology took it over, and all the guys that created it said it's going that way. I'm telling you, based on the infancy of the crypto market, and the digital currency is stronger than a fiat, a paper currency, because with digital, you're actually owning property. You're owning an inscription with your name on it that nobody can ever take away. With fiat, you can burn it with a lighter and there's nothing behind it. You don't own gold. You don't have a government with a strong purse that says if you lose your money. No, there's nothing behind it. So with this, there's
the faith. There is the faith of the U.S. government behind it.
The good faith and credibility, creditworthiness to stabilize their currency.
Right.
But what is good faith?
Well, that's a different issue, but there is a backup to it. Let's be honest.
This is the first time in 5,000 years that we're trying to separate money from government.
I agree. It's a very unique opportunity.
And people taking over their own financials and depoliticizing money will make your life better, because the government doesn't care if you're going to buy a house and they raise interest rates and cost you extra money.
So before we go to break, that brings up an interesting question. How is it taxed? So you get Bitcoin out there with some gains that are significant and some losses that are significant. How does that get taxed?
At the end of the year, the brokerage you have your account with sends you a spreadsheet with a net loss or net gain and gives you every transaction.
So like a stock, you would then go and say, my net gain was here.
You get a statement.
You get a statement.
Yeah, it's an Excel spreadsheet, the one I'm getting.
And that goes into your revenue, your money that you bring in, report to the government?
So I do a lot of trading, because you have to trade, right? And that's the other thing about currencies. We'll talk another day on that. So I do 100 trades. I made 100, I lost 100, I made 1,000. You know, at the end of the whole process, I netted out 5,000.
Okay.
So I report a $5,000 liability to my accountant.
Okay.
You know, I tell him I made $5,000 trading crypto. It's ordinary income. It's treated.
It is ordinary income.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, that's my question.
Income. Yeah.
I was trying to get to.
Yeah, it's no long-term holding or anything like that. Now, the other side of it is there's a lot of people trading offshore through the internet, so it becomes a self-assessed tax.
Okay.
So you tell them if you want, but they're not getting any record of it from another company.
All right, that's another question.
Yeah, that's a whole other ballgame, but there's plenty of guys doing it.
We're going to take a break from Money Thoughts, and we'll be back after this commercial.
If you want to know more about the crypto market or the foreign exchange, go to bitcoinmoneycenter.com. I have a lot of knowledge on that website about what cryptos are. You can contact me with crypto@bitcoinmoneycenter.com. Give me all your questions, crypto@bitcoinmoneycenter.com. Send me what you got. I'll give you my best opinion, and I'll back it up with third-party sources.
So welcome back to Money Thoughts. I'm here with Leonard Neuhaus, and we're talking about digital currency, we're talking about cryptocurrency, we're talking about Bitcoin, we're talking about a lot. So Leonard, let me go back to you and go back to Bitcoin for a second. Is Bitcoin for any investor?
Absolutely.
Tell me why.
You can break One of the problems with Bitcoin stored value versus gold, you can't take a bar of gold and chip off a piece and go buy a loaf of bread, right? But Bitcoin you can. And they have a brand new network that just came out within the past 30 days called the Lightning Network, where you can put your Bitcoin into the Lightning Network and use it to buy your food every day. One of the problems is breaking down a Bitcoin because it's $40,000 a coin right now. Right. Imagine spending $100 on groceries. Well, you can do that now. They just came out with that 60 days ago. There's constant innovations coming out to make digitals and crypto more accessible and user-friendly to be in mainstream. And this is how you convert people from fiat to crypto.
I got to be honest with you. I was at the grocery store yesterday, and the ATM distributed Bitcoin. You could buy Bitcoin. It's totally nuts. You could buy Bitcoin through an ATM.
Yeah, I mean, who's going to go there with 10,000 and say, "Give me Bitcoin"?
So
no,
let's go to the next slide.
You go to Bitcoin Money Center, you hook up with the broker, and you put as much money from your bank account as you want in there, and you transact every day. That's how you buy Bitcoin. Buy and sell Bitcoin.
So let's talk about liquidity.
I should show you the charts.
Let's go to the slide. It's a pretty interesting slide.
All right, this is what if you're looking at the board, you need to understand first of all, there's only two things that make a market. And it's any market. It could be a car market. It could be a pencil market. It don't matter. Widgets. But you need a difference of opinion, and you need liquidity for that difference, right? This is where the participation of liquidity comes in big for crypto. Because cryptos, if you take the first market, which I have the smallest market, if I'm going to sell a car and I got two buyers and I'm trying to sell a Fiat Spider, which you tell me you proudly own, a beautiful 73. Red, that sounds great
73,
actually. 73 red convertible. Who's better than you? But anyway, cruising down there. But anyway, so you're going to try to sell your car and you're going to go to two people, and this guy said, "I'll give you 10. This one says 5. You say, "No, I want 15. So you're not selling your car. The market wasn't big enough, right? Then you go to a regional market like Wall Street, and you get 25% of the Earth's population, and you're looking for 15, and the most they're going to come up with is 12.5, and you're not taking 12.5 because they don't think there's value. There's chips in the paint, whatever. You said, "I get it fixed." But then you take it to the global market where you got billions of people, and you got a guy out there that absolutely collects those cars and says, "I'll give you 30,000 for it. I need that car in my collection." So the bigger the market, the greater the liquidity, the better money pool, the more participation for that market. This is what separates crypto from every other market on the planet.
So one of the things that comes up in crypto or in the news is the transparency. So people say, well, people using crypto are trying to hide something. Talk about the transparency that's out there today and where you think it's going to go getting transparent.
Okay, so when you do a trade on any crypto platform, okay, because they give you a platform when you're buying and selling crypto, you actually have a dot on your trade of what price you're looking to buy or sell, and you can watch that order execute, and when it executes, the money goes straight into your account as cash in dollars, right? So you'll have people always have pirates in every business. I mean, one of the evolutionary steps of any business, Forex, the stock market, you're going to have a criminal element that's always going to try to take advantage of people because of the unknown fact. Even solar. Solar had so much crime involved with it over the past 4 years because people weren't educated and guys were giving them shit panels with bad inverters and, you know, they were getting ripped off basically and they didn't even know it. So you should become an educated investor. It's always one of the first rules. And to do that, if you have to spend $100 to set up an account, by the way, my minimum account's $20 at Bitcoin Money Center. And I do it because I know it's new, but if somebody lost $20, they're not going to change their life, right? So you start with $20, you set up your account, and you learn how to move monies from your bank to crypto back to your bank, and you have the transparency because every bank is compatible. I'm using Bank of America with these crypto brokerages, and if you want to take a good broker, you use the biggest one in the world. Why would you mess around with some ABC broker in Korea online that has only 100,000 in it versus doing Binance that has over 50 billion in it? You're going to go with, it's kind of like, would you go with a small little brokerage on your equities trying to sell something, or would you rather deal with a larger firm that gives you better execution and service, right?
So someone's sitting at home watching this, one of our views, and says, I'm interested in doing that. How do they buy crypto? They would call a broker?
You go to my website, Bitcoin Money Center. There's a box on there. It says buy crypto.
Right.
All right. You click on that. And then I have a newsletter. So I'm actually sending out newsletters to people to explain to them what coins are good, what are bad, what's the movement of the market. There is so much changes, Peter, right now in crypto. There's at least 20 headlines a day on the crypto market about advancements into digital. You know, new companies coming up with faster speeds. A company just came out yesterday and said you can now use their, I think it's Nano, right? Nano, so Venezuela crashed. They had hyperinflation of 1,800% in a year and a half when the Boulevard crashed because they had a 350% gross debt to GDP, gross domestic product. So the Boulevard crashed, so everybody went to the dollar and there was a black market. And they lost the ability to tax any of the people because nobody was reporting anything. They always say a third of every economy is black market money that the government never goes. That's why I agree in a national sales tax to get the black money in and reduce our income tax. But neither here nor there. They gave everybody a Nano card that is instantaneous execution, no fees, peer-to-peer. They put $50 in every card, like a credit card, sent it out to the whole population. It stabilized their economy and actually has it growing again because now they can transact in a legitimate currency.
So let's go to our next slide. You know, good, better, best, the old Sears model of how you do things. Talk about that for a second, the good, better, best concept.
Okay, so why is crypto better? Because you and I can transact. I could buy your car if you using a crypto and put my Bitcoin into your wallet and cut the bank out, no fees, cut out the government. So we do a peer-to-peer transaction. It has instantaneous execution. Okay, I just moved money on an account. I used to have to do, I have an account in Ireland. I lived over in Ireland, right? So I have a bank over there. So once in a while I move money over there. And I'm buying euros right now, and I'm buying some hard euros as well as Forex euros. But having said that, I can now move money from Easton, Bank of America, into my Binance account, right, in San Francisco, and move it over to Ireland, Limerick, Ireland, into my account over there in less than 5 minutes with no fees.
So you mentioned wallets. Does that include, what's a wallet in Bitcoin?
Okay, the olden days you needed an external wallet that would take care of your coins so that it couldn't be hacked into, because hacking was very, you know, people got robbed, hackers. Supposedly Russia's big on that. But having said that, if you have an external wallet, you can literally take your coin off your CPU on your computer, move it into a little device like a USB, and carry it in your pocket everywhere you go. Nobody can steal it. And if you have to use it, you can plug it into your phone and take it out and put it into your bank account.
So a wallet is a security approach to having your Bitcoin?
Yes. Now, Binance is way ahead of that. They supply a wallet online that's totally secure. So you don't have to deal with an external anymore.
And does the individual Bitcoin provider make that secure wallet, or does someone outside of the Bitcoin provider have that wallet developed?
The Binance, who is, again, the large, you know, you have Coinbase, you have Binance, you have Gemini, you have Kraken. These are all the major brokerages, right?
And they all can do a wallet for you.
Yeah, they all do a wallet for you now, which is totally secure. But if you're looking to move the money, or you don't trust to keep it in there, because of what happened with Trudeau in Canada, he just put a crush on all the truckers' cryptos. Remember, they were paying them in crypto, supporting their rally? That was like, what, 3 months ago or whatever? Well, the problem with that was, so I own a brokerage in Canada, crypto brokerage, and I'm making millions of dollars on transactions. And everybody says it's, you know, non-confiscatable and it's transparent. Don't worry about the government ever seeing it. But if Trudeau or the government, like they did, said, look, I need to know every one of your crypto holders, and I want you to freeze all the truckers' accounts. Well, they did it. And why'd they do it? Because if I didn't do it, I lost my $1 million company.
Right.
But if those truckers would have took their Bitcoin and put it into an external wallet, when Trudeau said that, they could have laughed at him. I got my money, buddy. You ain't getting none of this.
So what is mining? I've heard that used a lot. You're mining Bitcoins. Mining
is how Bitcoins are created and Litcoins are created. And Ethereum is more of a software breakup, a gas company. Nano, Litcoin, Tether is a stable coin that is always dollar for dollar.
Yeah, the slide we've got up here now shows the different types of coins and what you can do with them, which is amazing.
Yeah, so they have gaming cords. Okay, there's a company called Zilliqa, right? Zilliqa is a credit card coin where they give you a plastic card, you fund your Zilliqa account with that, and you can transact business in the world that accepts the Zilliqa credit card. Remember like when the Visa started out?
So mining is what? So mining goes back to, that's creating the Bitcoin, is mining it?
Yes, exactly. There's a lot of chips floating around the planet in cyberspace. So a miner, the hash rate's like 50,000 hashes a second. It's crazy stuff. So the more miners you have, the more you're trying to grab these bips out of cyberspace.
Is this some guy or gal sitting in there?
No, this is just a machine running around the clock, using up tons of electricity. They're expensive to run.
Right.
That's a major factor in your return, is your energy cost. That's why guys are setting up solar plants.
Right.
Let the sun supply the energy, and it gives a high profit margin on the Bitcoin you're able to mine. So mining is a way to take the fragmented Bitcoins. There's 21 million issued, but there's only 19 million floating, trading.
Okay.
So there's still 2 million out there in cyberspace that they're trying to mine. And anybody who mines a whole one gets the $40,000.
So you recommend a lot of research or working with someone with knowledge before someone jumps into any kind of cryptocurrency?
Yeah, you should talk to somebody. I mean, that's why I got involved. I just started playing with it, moving monies around, and I got comfortable. And I've been trading equities. I've been trading forex for 20 years, so I'm very comfortable with market movements.
So
and I'm not afraid.
Another question that is really a future-looking question: all this is moving around, all this is happening at once. When does the federal government, or does the federal government, decide we've got to step in and either do some controls or create their own crypto?
That's exactly the next phase of evolution. Everybody, this is out since 2009, so what's that, 13 years? Mm-hmm. Every government, China, Russia, India, to start with, banned Bitcoin at one stage or another. China recently, 6 months ago, nobody can mine Bitcoin in the whole country of China. They shut down. Some of these mining guys are crazy. They'll go buy a warehouse, put 1,000 mining machines in there, and just constantly look to mine Bitcoin. So the higher Bitcoin goes up.
Mine meaning sell it?
No, mine means create it.
Okay, create it.
Very good question. So now, since they all tried to shut it down, because government does not want people to control their own money. Government likes to be politicized with the money so they can always come into your bank account and take what they want. You know what's crazy? Cyprus had an asset tax in 2013, and the banking system shut down, froze everybody's accounts. You remember this?
I don't.
Okay, look it up. Look at
Cyprus?
Yeah, we're learning time.
Okay,
so Cyprus went broke, right? It's an offshore island off Greece that was a safe haven for hedge funds and all of that, right? Yep. So they went broke. So what did Cyprus do when they needed money? They froze everybody's bank accounts in the country, and they took 20% of their money out 2 weeks later, and then opened their accounts back up. That's called an asset tax.
That's called a steal.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
okay, and that's why people are worried about their money over here. If we have $30 trillion in debt, right, and we can't sustain through international reserve status or selling our bonds, and we're monetizing our debt through printing money with nothing behind it, at what point, since Russia and China just backed out, and you know about BRIC, Brazil, Russia, India, and China? They created an organization specifically to trade with each other and do away with the dollar trade. They did that. That's happening, buddy. So my point is, by going crypto, you're always going to have access to your own money, and it has. If the dollar gets weaker, cryptos get stronger.
So as I started at the beginning of the show, this is a program this is a topic that could go on, and hopefully we'll bring you more Money Thoughts. But as we come to the end, tell people if they want to contact you. How should they do that? Okay.
I have a company called Bitcoin Money Center. I do Forex, dollars, and crypto. You can email me at crypto@bitcoinmoneycenter.com. When I get your email, I will field your questions. If you want to know about coins you own, what my opinion is of it, I do a lot of research on liquidity, issuance, volume. I'll research it for you and give you my good opinion if it's a hold, to sell, or the chance of making money.
Leonard Neuhaus from Bitcoin Money Center. Thank you very much for being our guest today.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you.
And thank you for viewers tuning in to Money Thoughts. We'll see you next time. Bye now.